and this is my van Moo. She is a 2016 high roof Ford Transit 350. I started living in a van back in 2018. I got my first van that was a 1981 Chevy G10 named Stormy Vanules. She was tiny, spent most of her time in a parking lot broken down, and right as COVID hit, she broke down for good. I couldn't replace the engine, and so I ended up flying home to Maui. Thought it would be 2 weeks. It ended up being 8 months, and probably the most fulfilling 8 months of my entire almost 31 years of life. I bought this van in April of 2020, and then it took us until August of 2020 to build her out, and I got to do it with my dad, which was super special. It really turned into an entire experience that I got to share with my parents that I will always hold very dear. So I decided to go with the bulkhead with the pocket door because, one, added security, but the biggest factor was the insulation factor. In my old van, I just had a blackout curtain, and in the summertime it was absolutely miserable. It's still pretty hot if it's 90 degrees outside, but there's almost a 10-degree difference from back here to the cab just on a normal day. So in the middle of the day, this stays very comfortable even without my fans on. So that was a big plus. And then with the door, I got a full-size mirror. I do work at an in-person job most of the time, and that was a big plus, so I can actually get ready and go to work and know what I look like from head to toe instead of just waist up or just right around my face. So that was a big thing. So I can lock the door open, and I can also lock the door open this way. So when I drive around, it doesn't shake around, or if I'm back here sleeping, I can lock it so if someone were to break in at the front of the van, I have at least maybe 5 seconds or more to figure out what I'm going to do or evacuate out of the door. A non-negotiable for me was a full-length pantry. I saw the inspiration from our Van Quest, and it is just latched with this one little lock, which kind of amazes me every day, and it pulls out, and I have all kinds of non-perishables. I have all of my spices, cereal, apple cider vinegar, and a bunch of just random stuff in here, but I, knock on wood, have never had an issue with it flying out or anything. This is my kitchen. So I have a 2-burner stove, a 14-inch deep sink, I believe, this little swivel head that comes off, and then up here I have supplements and stuff like that on this side. Ooh. And then this side I have all of my bowls and way too many cups and mugs that I don't need. Underneath I do have these lights on a dimmer. All of this tile is real, so it's not the peel and stick. I had the peel and stick in my old van and it looked nice, but I just wanted, if I was going to do this much of it, I wanted real tile. Super easy to clean. I have a plug right here that's connected to my inverter, and then I have the switch for the water pump that this is connected to. Underneath the sink, in this buddy, I have water bottles, and I also have a 7-gallon tank for the gray water, and then also one of my propane tanks live under here. I have an extra tank under the bed in the back, and then I have all of my kitchen gadgets. This top drawer is just all of my silverware and stuff like that. This toaster thing from REI, if you don't have it, you should get it. And then the bottom drawer is the holy grail. I have a full-size blender in here and my Omnia stove and just all kinds of good stuff in there. On this side of the van, I have my little, I like to call it my kitchen island. It has my fridge, some drawers that have random stuff in them. This fridge is wonderful. I wish it was a little bit bigger, but this is all that would ship to Maui, so beggars can't be choosers, and I am very happy with it. It holds about a week's worth of groceries, give or take, but I am a sauce gal, and I have way too many sauces in there, so I should probably reel it in with that, because then more regular food would fit. But underneath, just random stuff in there. In this drawer is all of my makeup, my contacts, all of that good stuff. And then up here are all of my books. I know a lot of people downsize when they live in a van and don't have books or go to a Kindle or something, but I like to physically hold them. So I made sure that I kept a little space. I keep acquiring books and the space is not getting any bigger. So yeah. Something that I really wanted to incorporate in my van this time around was some kind of seating area. So I have these two little bench seats under this one, so they both open, and there's a magnet to hold the top open, so I don't have to worry about trying to hold it as I rifle through stuff. But that's pretty much shoes and random other junk. Right above it, I do have another plug, and then the switch for my 2000 watt inverter is right above it, as well as the battery monitor is right up there, so I can see where I'm at battery wise. And then on this side, this is the best part of maybe the whole van. So I have my toilet. So as you can see, it goes up, but my dad thought of this at 2 o'clock in the morning. He had a notepad next to his bed and he rolled over, drew it in a little picture thing and how it worked, and then now it is real. So this pulls out, so I can actually sit down on the toilet or pull it out really easily to empty it out, and then I don't have to worry about any of that. And then I just stick it right back in and close it. Close this. On the front of my bed, I have this nifty little table, so it latches shut so it doesn't fly open, and then it slides out. I normally sit on this side and either eat here or work on my computer, or if I'm crafting or anything like that, I do that all here. And then these two are just drawers of clothing, and they are kind of full, pretty stacked, but all of my work clothes and workout clothes are down there, so it's easy to find. This is my bed. It is a full size. I did have to cut probably this much off of the end, and then I did notch it around the weird little kind of zigzag that I have in each corner back here. So it's a little bit shorter, but I'm only 5'3", so I can sleep window to window with enough room to wiggle my feet quite a bit. Up above, I do have just the cabinets up here. I didn't want them on this side because I knew that in the middle of the night, or just because I'm me, I would sit up and probably smash my face on this. I've also hit my head on these corners enough times anyway, and it's not even where I sleep. So in here is just a bunch of my clothes. Each one is just clothes. I have the back windows that are covered, and I have two vent fans. One of them I have exhausting, which is usually the one right above my kitchen, and then this one I have pulling air in, so it creates a nice little wind tunnel, especially when it's pretty cool outside. I can cool off the entire van pretty quickly. But I did that because I don't have any vent windows or anything like that, so I knew that I wanted to have two, and they magically both fit with 4 solar panels on the top. This is my garage. This side is a little chaotic. This side is much more organized. So I have 4 of these bins that just hold a bunch of junk, and then all of my solar and energy and all of that good stuff is on this side. I have 2 90 amp hour batteries, and then I have a 2000 watt inverter. I have my breaker box for all of my AC plugs in there, and then I have my handy little Rover charge controller, and then a few emergency shut-off switches just in case everything hits the fan and I need to do that. I have 400 watt solar panels on the roof, so that is how I charge. And then on this side I have a 15-gallon freshwater tank that I just fill up right here, either with a hose or single-gallon jugs if I like torture. Thanks so much for checking out my van and hanging out with me and Moo. So if you want to follow along, my Instagram is akpal4. And yeah, I hope to see you on the road somewhere.
I hope you enjoyed that video. If you hadn't noticed, we do sell an ebook for how to convert a van. It has over 190 pages of detailed instructions and diagrams, also 25 video tutorials which are specifically for the ebook buyer. Creating a van for many people is obviously a really intimidating project, but I really believe, and I've seen it time and time and time again, that with the right information, anyone can turn out with a pretty decent van conversion. So check the link in the description, subscribe to the channel if you are not already, and drop us a comment if you like this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.